Welcome back everyone. Again, a pretty long wait for all of you, but I am back and this is another important video on request, questions and answers from Julius Caesar, Act 4, Scene 3. There are 7 extracts in your Morning Star workbook and 2 test and evaluation questions. So a total of 9 questions. This is video number 1. In today's session, I am going to discuss 4 important extracts from the Morning Star workbook. Extract 1. Question 1. Where are Brutus and Cassius at this time? State briefly what charge Brutus lays against Cassius. Now in Act 4 Scene 3, we find that Brutus and Cassius argue. Portia is dead. Reconciled, the two men plan their battle strategy. The ghost of Caesar appears to Brutus at night. So these are the key points in this scene, Act 4, Scene 3, and here are the questions and answers. Where are Brutus and Cassius at this time? Brutus and Cassius are at Sardis inside the tent of Brutus. A brief, to the point answer. State briefly what charge Brutus lays against Cassius. Brutus accuses. So there is disagreement between the two. Brutus accuses Cassius of supporting the dishonest Lucius Pella, condemned and noted by Brutus for taking bribes from the Sardians. Cassius has written letters to Brutus praying on his side, speaking on behalf of the dishonest Lucius Pella. So this is the specific answer. Accuses, important word. Cassius of supporting dishonest Pella. And who is Pella? The person who has been condemned and noted by Brutus for taking bribes from the Sardians. And here is Cassius supporting him, speaking on behalf of this corrupt person, Lucius Pella. End of question number 1. There are 2 subparts, so you will have to change the paragraph. 2 paragraphs for 2 subparts. Keep this in mind. Dear students, do check the pinned comment section for all important video links related to your syllabus, and kindly subscribe to our channel, tap the bell icon, like, share and comment. Quickly, question number 2 now. What had Cassius just complained of to make Brutus say, "You wronged yourself"? Cassius argues, Brutus accuses, here Brutus accuses, and then Cassius argues. There is disagreement between the two. Cassius argues that Brutus has wronged him. The former has slighted off Cassius's letters defending Pella. And this is the complaint of Cassius. Explain the meaning of Brutus's words, "You wronged yourself." This is a complaint and now this is the meaning. The expression "you wronged yourself" means Cassius's actions have done harm to himself only and his reputation. Cassius has acted in such a way that has affected himself, Cassius himself, and also his reputation. By siding with corrupt people, Cassius has done himself wrong. What advice is Cassius giving Brutus in this extract? Do you think Cassius was being practical? According to Cassius, in these circumstances, what is the circumstance of rebellion against them? It is not suitable, it is unsuitable that every petty fault should be criticized. Very, very important. They must support each other instead of criticizing each other. And do you think Cassius was being practical? Brutus and Cassius argue, but the latter seems practical. Why? Mark Antony and Octavius Caesar are aligned against the conspirators. Thus, If the conspirators are not united, they will be unable to curb the enemies. They will be defeated. So, right at this point, under these circumstances, they must support each other instead of criticizing each other. And Brutus is an idealist and he is not listening to Cassius. Question 4. What did Brutus accuse Cassius of when he said, "Let me tell you yourself, ... How did Cassius react to this? Again, two subparts. The first question, what did Brutus accuse Cassius of when he said, "Let me tell you yourself"? Quickly, the answer, I'll just adjust. Yes. According to Brutus, Cassius has an itching palm. Now, so the spelling, itching, itching palm, quotation from the text, which requires rubbing for satisfaction. This is the textual reference. And now what is the simple meaning of this? That is a hand willing to take bribes. He is accused of being corrupt. Number 1. Number 2, accused of being corrupt by selling his official positions in the army. Important. For money to men who are not worthy undeservers. So this is the compact answer. This is how you must write your answers. Textual references along with their explanation, and that too very, very briefly. Brutus's accusation makes Cassius angry and annoyed. Reaction. Cassius threatens that he would have killed any other person making such an accusation. Since Brutus is saying these words, he is spared. He is not doing anything because it is Brutus who is uttering such accusations. Had it been someone else, he would have not spared his life. This is the answer. Question 4. Now, quickly, question 5. In the argument which continues between these two, Brutus accuses Cassius of other faults as well. Point out 2 of them. We'll have to point out 2 of them. And say how Cassius reacted to these accusations. Do you think Brutus was being fair to Cassius? Let's read the answer now. Brutus accuses Cassius of other faults. The association of the undeservers with Cassius makes their corruption seem respectable. Since Cassius is respectable, when he joins hands with corrupt officials, they appear to be respectable. And in this way, they escape punishment. Number 1. Number 2, moreover, Caesar was assassinated for the sake of justice. Ironically, Cassius now stains his hands with lowly bribes and sells their great power and the high honors to the undeservers. Number 2. Brutus is an idealist and he seems fair in criticizing Cassius. He is not liking what is happening because of his idealism. He did not have any other personal agenda against Julius Caesar. He simply wanted the welfare of the Roman people. And now Cassius is supporting corrupt officials. So this is against the principles of Brutus. And say how Cassius reacted to these accusations. I'll just add this section over here. Cassius is angry. He will not tolerate such accusations. And he reminds Brutus that he is more experienced as a soldier, abler to take decisions. He is abler than Brutus as a soldier. So experienced as a soldier. So you must add these three reactions briefly in this answer. Now, moving on to the next question. Extract number 2. The extract is there on the screen. Just have a look. What sort of corruption is referred to in the extract? The corruption referred to in the extract is bribery and dishonesty. Cassius, like the undeservers, are corrupt. He has sold his official positions in the army for money to men who are not worthy. What has been the reaction of Cassius just before this extract to this accusation? The same answer. Cassius is angry and threatens to kill any other person making such an accusation. Since Brutus has made this allegation, he is spared. So more or less the same answer. So refer to the first extract. Now, what does the Ides of March signify to them? The Ides of March is significant to the conspirators. Why? We all know Julius Caesar was assassinated for the sake of justice and for the welfare of the Roman people. For which purpose did Brutus say that Julius bled for justice' sake? Brutus says that Julius bled for justice' sake because he is an idealist. He joined the conspirators to curb the tyranny of Caesar, the ambition of Caesar, not for his own personal interests. Caesar had to pay the price for his ambition and was stabbed to death. Blood gushed out of the gaping wounds, and therefore he bled for justice' sake. He was stabbed to death. This is the answer. Give two examples from this scene to indicate that Brutus was really angry with Cassius. Brutus angrily says, "Away, slight man." He sternly informs Cassius that he will certainly speak against him. He will not flatter him. He will certainly speak against him fearlessly. He even calls Cassius a madman. Secondly, he states that he does not like Cassius's faults. Only a flatterer would overlook such faults. So direct attack. He is angry. He is in no mood to consider Cassius and his faults. This is question number 3, and now we have question number 4. Explain briefly the bitter irony in the quarrel over money between Brutus and Cassius. Brutus condemns Cassius for taking bribes, but he sends for funds to pay his soldiers from Cassius's ill-gotten wealth. This is irony. This is ironical. The same money, he wants the same money to pay his soldiers. Brutus cannot comprehend the long-range outcome of his decisions. He is not that practical. State briefly how the disagreement between Cassius and Brutus was dissolved. Cassius urges Brutus to stab him. This cools down Brutus, and the latter states that he will consider Cassius's rude behavior as one of his passing moods. Brutus is a quiet person who remains angry for a brief period of time. He is angry because he was moody. Cassius is angry. Brutus is also angry, and then both of them, they soften. Thus, through such discussions, both resolve their disagreement. Now, extract number 3. The extract is there on the screen. Just have a look. Give the meaning of, "You shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you." What does Brutus say he will use Cassius for? First, the meaning now. The lines, "You shall digest the venom of your spleen," that Cassius, according to Brutus, will swallow the poison of his own anger, spleen, even if it bursts him. That is, Cassius will suffer for his anger. He will have to pay a heavy price for it. What does Brutus say he will use Cassius for? When Cassius will be waspish, irritable, Brutus will use him for his laughter. Quotation, that is entertainment. So the key words and expressions over here. Okay, now moving on to the next question. It's question number 2. Give 2 examples of the taunts which Brutus had indulged in earlier, which makes Cassius say, "Is it come to this?" Cassius claims that he is a soldier, older in practice, abler than Brutus, but the latter tauntingly remarks, "Go to, nonsense, you are not." The latter also calls the former slight man, that is weak. Number 2, number 1. Understood? Now, under what conditions had Cassius made the statement that he was a better soldier than Brutus? Brutus and Cassius are angry with each other. The former accuses the latter of being corrupt. Julius Caesar, the most prominent man of all this world, was assassinated for justice. Thus, it is shocking that Cassius is staining his hands with lowly bribes. Thus, Cassius will not tolerate such accusations hurled at him by Brutus, as he is a better soldier than him, actually an abler soldier than him. And how accurate is Cassius's assessment of himself as a soldier? Cassius is more practical, definitely, than Brutus. The latter is an idealist, while the former is more experienced in military service, is used to the real world, hence a better soldier, able to manage the battle better. So as a soldier, he is definitely abler than Brutus. What is meant by vaunting? The term vaunting means boasting. And how could Cassius prove his vaunting at this point of time? Cassius will prove his boasting true. How will he do it? 1 second. By showing that he is a better soldier. While Brutus and Cassius are arguing, a strange visitor enters the scene. Who is he? While Brutus and Cassius are arguing, a strange visitor enters the scene. He is poet. Now, dear students, now please don't worry about the length. There are multiple subparts in all these questions, and my handwriting is such that I need space to write my answers. Your handwriting is different, my handwriting is different, questions are going to be different. So these are reference answers. Go through them, take points, frame your own answers according to the questions available. So don't worry about the length. The length is going to be automatically adjusted at the examination hall. So don't worry. Just keep practicing, frame your own answers and read good reference. Go through our videos as well. Now, the second subpart. Who is he? Finished poet. What is the purpose of his visit? Let's see. He has come to see the 2 generals, Cassius and Brutus. There is some quarrel between them. It is not right that they should be alone. He will advise them to reconcile as he is more experienced than them. So this is the purpose of his visit. It's there in the text. And how does Brutus react to his arrival? Brutus asks him to get away from there, calls him saucy fellow. He is angry. He does not like him. He does not like his presence during wars. He does not listen to Cassius even. And he is angry and wants such jigging fools to leave. He does not like the poet. He wants him to go away as soon as possible. So this is the answer. These are brief answers, but there are multiple subparts. When clubbed together, the answers seem to be lengthy, but actually they are not. You will have to answer each and every subpart. Don't forget to do it. Extract 4. The last extract today. In the next session, in video number 2, we will discuss the other questions from the Morning Star workbook along with the test and evaluation series. Come on, be patient and let's read quickly. In what state is Cassius? Cassius is sentimental. He says that he no longer enjoys the confidence of Brutus. He is feeling so miserable at this time that he could go on weeping endlessly to let his spirit flow out of his body through his eyes in the form of tears. So, in brief, compact answer, this is the state of mind. He is frustrated also. He is disappointed. Next, why is his heart richer than gold? Important question. According to Cassius, his heart is richer than gold, more precious than all the treasures to be found in the earth. His heart is filled with valuable qualities. What are the qualities? Just let me turn the page. Valuable qualities like honesty, number 1, loyalty, number 2, courage, number 3, and integrity, number 4. Gold symbolizes material wealth, power, and corruption also. Cassius' heart is richer because his values outweigh material riches. His principles guide his actions and his relationships are genuine. Inner wealth over external riches. Very important question. Learn this ditto from here. Come on. This is how you must write your answers. After this, I'll just adjust. Who is Pluto? Why is Cassius's heart compared to Pluto's mind? Pluto is the god of underworld and mines, also known as Hades. He was often confused as here with Plutus, the god of wealth. And Cassius's heart is compared to Pluto's mind to emphasize upon the depth, worth of his commitment to Brutus and their cause. Brutus must not suspect him. He is committed to their cause. Question 3. These are important questions, dear students. When did Cassius deny gold to Brutus? Brutus sent to Cassius for certain sums of money. This is the irony. And he could not raise funds. By dishonest means, Cassius denied Brutus's request. And why did the latter need the gold? Brutus needed gold to pay his troops for the war effort. Cassius says that he did not deny the gold. He explains that whoever brought his reply must have been only a fool. He did not deny the gold. He laments that Brutus has broken his heart. A man should tolerate his friend's weakness, not exaggerate them. What reply does Brutus give to Cassius after this extract? Brutus asks Cassius to sheathe, that is to return his dagger into the scabbard. What is the scabbard? The sword case. He asks Cassius to be angry whenever he wants. His anger may be expressed freely. He may do whatever he wants. Brutus will consider his rude behavior as one of his passing moods. Cassius has allied himself with a quiet person who remains angry only for a brief period of time. Just one sec, I have missed this. Brief period of time. So this is important, the whole section. What is the dramatic importance of this dialogue? And in what way does it influence the subsequent course of action in the play? The dialogue marks the end of the quarrel, important, which had taken place between the two leaders of the Republican cause. It shows that the leaders have come to a better understanding with each other. Their quarrel has dissolved. And what is the effect of this, consequence of this? Subsequently, this reconciliation affects the course of action in the play. When Brutus suggests that they should march to the plains of Philippi instead of waiting for the enemy to attack them at Sardis, Cassius agrees after pointing out that this strategy would not be right one. Why does he do it? He does does not want to displease Brutus anymore. They have reconciled now, and therefore he does not want to displease Brutus anymore. So here, students, this is the end of question 4, and soon I'll be solving these questions. Extract 5, then extract 6. We have 7 also, and I will be doing the test and evaluation series in the next session. I'll upload very soon. Don't worry, your syllabus will be complete in time.